So, hello everyone, good evening to all. Just confirm me once in the chat box, sir, my voice is audible. Today, this Zoom meeting is conducted through 2 to 3 Zoom platforms mixture. Okay, so for each and every participant, this is my request to you that if you have any query, any concern, any question regarding any topic which we are covering related to the tax audit 2024-25, in that case, yes, please put your query in the chat box. We'll take your queries immediately. We'll provide you the response definitely. Yes, sir. Before moving ahead, I just want to share with you certain rules of this course on the tax audit. As we all know, this time the tax audit this time this tax audit is important for all of us. Now we have around 35 days to complete the task related to tax audit, and we have a responsibility to do this work in a very efficient, in a very effective way. So sir, my first question is that are you ready for that responsibility? Yes sir. I just want that make this session as much as interactive, as much as interesting. If you have any query, any concern, any question related to any point which we are covering, yes, you can put it in the chat box. Okay. Also, you will get the recordings of this particular session. You will get the study material, complete study material as well. Also, I request, if it is possible for you, then just keep one pen and paper with you so that you can make notes of the same. Okay, so that you can use it in your future perspective, in your day-to-day practice as well. This session, the points, the topics which we are covering is completely based on practical approach only. That is, each and everything will cover that will be completely based on practical approach only. Okay, so let's start our discussion on the tax audit 2024-25. And sir, as you have joined this particular session, so it is an investment from your side, and now this is my responsibility to give you the 100% return on this particular type of investment. Okay, so let's start our discussion. Before moving further, just I share information with you that our today's session I will take, okay, related to the financial statement, related to the analysis of ledger, related to the GST reconciliations, etc. will take today. And in our next session, that is tomorrow morning sharp at 11 a.m., we have CA Ankita Bothra. She will take care of the clause by clause analysis of 3CD and the TDS deduction related things. She will take care. Okay, and yes, you have complete support till 31st of October 2025. So if you have any query, any concern related to the tax audit, yes, you can ask with us. We'll create a WhatsApp group as well. You can post your queries in that WhatsApp group. Now, sir, I am just going to start my discussion from very basics. Okay, so don't think that this discussion is only basic. We'll discuss the very detailed part as well, very important part as well in this particular session itself. Okay, so let's start our discussion. First type, major entities, because we also need to cover the content from a very basic perspective. Okay, so if a beginner wants to learn the audit techniques, in that case this session must be useful. Okay, as I will also only take care the analysis of financial statement, audit from GST perspective, and certain ledger scrutiny and analysis related things. Okay, so first thing, major entities. So we have certain major entities, you can say, because first we need to know what type of entities are there in the market. So you can say proprietorship concern, if turnover exceeded, then there is requirement of audit. Partnership concern, yes, there is requirement of audit. HUF company, LLP, AOP, BOI, trust. So these type of entities are there in the market. So first we need to know the entities. The audit related things are quite complicated in case of companies, in case of LLP. Okay, and trust, a complete separate calculation is there. Okay, but today in this particular session we'll cover from a comprehensive aspect, so that each and every aspect is going to be covered in this particular session itself. Okay, applicability of tax audit. First question is that, sir, my client is coming to my office and asking that, sir, whether this tax audit is applicable on me or not. So that is what is the biggest question, that we have to provide the response to our client that yes, you are liable for the tax audit or you are not liable for the tax audit. As there is a news that if your turnover exceeded 10 crore rupees for the particular financial year, in that case only you are required to tax audit. No sir, the limit is if your turnover exceeded 1 crore rupees, then there is requirement of tax audit. But the point is that till 10 crore, if your percentage of cash transaction is less than 5%, in that case no need of the tax audit. Here they have used the word cash transactions. Okay, so you just need to cumulative all type of cash transactions, and if does not exceed 5% of the total turnover, in that case yes, no requirement to go for the tax audit. And if your turnover exceeded 10 crore rupees, in that case there is requirement of tax audit, no relaxation is there. Okay, so you can say basic 1 crore rupees, but if all the transactions are banking form or maximum transactions are banking form, you can say 95% of the transactions are in banking form, in that case no requirement of the tax audit. Okay, now in case of professionals, if your gross receipt of the professional exceed 50 lakh rupees, then there is requirement of tax audit. Up to 50 lakh rupees, if you are supposed to opt the presumptive taxation scheme, that is 50%, then no need of the tax audit. So as a chartered accountant, as a legal consultant, as a tax practitioner, this is our responsibility to guide our client that you should go for the tax audit, or you can declare this particular limit of profit in your books of accounts. Now one most important question is there, sir, my turnover is below 1 crore rupees. Now there is requirement to show 6% or 8% under presumptive taxation scheme. Is it mandatory? No. If your turnover is below 1 crore rupees, in that case no requirement to pay presumptive taxation scheme. You can declare the profit according to your books of accounts. You can declare the profit below the 6% or 8%. It is also completely okay. Okay. So applicability is quite important for all of us, because first thing which we need to suggest our client, that is whether audit is applicable on him or not, or that we can decide through this analysis. Now next, I hope you all have gained this specific point. Okay, now sir, there may be chances you are conducting the audit for a regular client or for a new client. Okay, in that case we have to decide that what are the things we need to be very much careful in case of regular client, and what are the things we need to be very much careful in case of new client. This is also a very important task for us. So in case of regular client, in case of your regular client, you all have the last year audit report. Okay, identify the addition and deletion in the business and activities of that particular client. So this is the most important task. The point is that basically and practically what is happening in case of tax audit, we are sending the list of documentation, our client is sending the documentation, we are just going to scrutinize the ledger, we are just going to prepare the financial statement in the software, we are just going to upload it on the income tax portal. On the basis of analysis of ledger, we are checking the heads of income, expenditure, we are also going for a ratio analysis. But the point is that, sir, we also need to identify there is any addition in the business activities or not, because that thing also reported in the form number 3CD. So we should be very much careful from that aspect. Kai baar humko lagta hai, why there is requirement to show these type of things? Why there is requirement to ask with our client regarding the addition and deletion of the business activities? Why there is requirement to ask the nature of the activities which has been conducted by the taxpayer? But sir, yes, it is very much important, because as you are conducting the audit, so this is the requirement that you should know the nature of the industry. You should know what type of transactions are taken care by that client. You also need to know the business and activities which has been conducted by your client, so that if there will be addition and there is a huge change in the reference, in that case you have to update it in your form 3CD. As you all know, nowadays a lot of notices has been issued to the chartered accountant who has conducted the audit. A lot of legal actions can be taken against the chartered accountant who has conducted the audit. So to save ourselves, there is requirement to make certain notes in the report, and that notes should not be cut, copy and paste. That notes should be based on facts and figures only. That is what is the important thing which we need to keep in our mind. Okay, check there is any additional place of business. If yes, the same has been reported in form number 3CD. If there is any addition in the additional place of business or any additional place of business which has been removed by the taxpayer, the information should be given in the form number 3CD. If you will check the form number 3CD, although we have a separate session discussion on the form number 3CD, at that time will definitely cover clause by clause analysis. And in the case of 3CD, they are asking for the number of branches. If we are putting number of branches as 0, then we should be very much careful. There should be certain branches. If yes, then the same should be reported. Nahi hai aur aap 0 report kar rahe ho, this is completely okay. But if there is branch and still you are reporting as 0, it is a question. So to report, first we have to identify whether there is branches or not. MRL letter is required to be taken and letter of appointment is required to be taken. Sir, in 90% cases or 90% professionals are not asking for the management representation letter and the appointment letter. Because sir, we are conducting the regular audit, why there is requirement of management representation? Then sir, in your form number 3CD, while putting the observation, why you are putting that we have taken the management representation regarding this particular matter, why you are asking for? In our form number 3CD, we are very proudly putting that as per the management representation letter, this is the thing, this is the thing, this is the thing, but you have no management representation in your hand. In future, if there will be anything, in that case, how you will take the management representation letter? There may be chances that your client will not provide the MRL in future because relationship hai, kuch bhi ho sakta hai. So we should be very much careful from that perspective, and MRL is the most important part of audit. And now at the time of conducting the audit, your client will happily provide you the MRL letter because you are conducting the audit. Okay, so demand the MRL letter and also letter of appointment from your client. Letter of appointment is required because you have given the authority. That means your taxpayer, your client has given you the authority to conduct the audit, and MRL letter is safeguard your interest. Okay, because when you are putting that this particular figure we are taking as per the management representation, but the management representation letter is missing, that means the fact which you have provided in the 3CD report is not perfect. The fact which you are signed in the 3CD form report is not perfect. So we should be very much careful from that aspect in case of regular client. In case of new client, sir, tax audit karwani hai. Sir, this is the list of documentation. Please provide these documentation, we'll conduct the audit. Because there is a very huge competition in case of tax audit, we also need to complete the tax audit of 100 clients, 200, 500 clients. Yes, we should. But the point is that we should take care of certain very important and very special things. Whenever there will be a new client in your office, sit for half an hour and discuss about the nature of activities, nature of industry, what type of work you are doing, whether you are a manufacturing, whether you are a trading concern, whether you are a service provider, whether your product is listed, whether your product is a raw material, whether it is your product is a processing output, whether there will be any normal loss, abnormal loss. These type of things you should ask. The first purpose, it will create impact on your client because others are not asking, so it will create an impact. Second, you will gain the knowledge of multiple industries. Okay, so it will enhance your knowledge. Third, you have the documentary evidence that you know everything about that particular industry, and after that you are accepting that assignment. Three purpose, one action. That type of follow-up we should go for. Take the basic KYC document from the client. When you are conducting the audit, merely income tax password and GST and common portal password is not sufficient. You should ask for the KYC documentation as well, so that that KYC document should be there in your record file. Okay. And from the ledger, you can also easily verify that this is the proprietor, this is the partner who has connected with us for conducting the particular audit. So it will also a special fact that we need to keep in our mind. Sir, in this particular session, whatever I am going to share with you, everything will be completely based on the practical approach only. Okay, because I don't want to share with you anything theoretical knowledge. I know you all have idea about the scrutiny of ledger, you all have idea about the feeding of financial statement, but through this particular session, as you have invested the amount, I just want to give you more than that. Okay, certain practical tips that will be helpful for you. And I am also going to share with you the logic of the documentation which you should take from your client. Last year audit report including NOC letter from the previous auditor. Many times new client is coming and old chartered accountant, we are not demanding the NOC letter. Or suppose we have sent a mail to the previous auditor for the NOC, but the person has not provided any response. तो हमने भी सोला छोड़ो ना यार. Just focus on our work, because a very huge pendency is there. Prepare the report, file it. Because we have already sent the mail, but that person has not provided the response. No, sir. Although we'll share with you the format of MRL letter, we'll share with you the format of appointment letter, we'll share with you the format of NOC letter. Yes, one formal letter for NOC is sufficient, but you also need to provide a secondary mail at your end. And in that secondary mail, you just need to give the reference of your first mail and give a timeline of 2 days. That if you have any concern in this particular audit, if you have any reservation in this particular audit, in that case, just let us know in next 2 days. Otherwise, we'll treat your no objection. And both the mail should be taken care. I'm not saying that you have to take the printout and you just need to keep it in your file. I am in way, no need to maintain the physical files in your office. Just create one folder for each and every client. All the documentation related to that particular client should be in that particular folder, so that whenever you want, you can access very easily. Okay. MRL letter is required. Yes. Letter of appointment is also required. Now, for conducting the business audit, there is requirement of certain documentation. And sir, it is my humble submission to you, don't ask the documentation in parts. Just provide a single comprehensive list. Just provide a single comprehensive list to your client. Okay, that these are the documentation which is required for conducting the audit. If we are providing the list in parts, it will create a negative impact. Okay, or it will also create a burden for our client. And in the current scenario, no one wants the burden except chartered accountant. So we just need to be very much careful from that aspect. Okay, so first document which is required, that is business registration certificate. Suppose that person is registered in MSME, suppose that person has the BRN, any type of registration which is there with that particular person, we require the copy of that. We require the copy of GST registration certificate. Okay, trading profit and loss account, balance sheet and trial balance generated from the accounting software. These documents we require, which is generated from the accounting software, trading, P&L, balance sheet and trial balance. All ledger generated in PDF or Excel. Okay. And sir, I request, when you are demanding the data from your client and your client is submitting the documentation with you, Just check the validity of that particular documentation. Whether the sales ledger which is there in the ledger which has been provided by you by your taxpayer is tally with the profit and loss account sales, or there is any difference. Okay. Through this exercise, you can get an idea about the internal control of that client. You can also get an idea if there will be any mismatch between the ledger sales and between the sales which has been reported in the profit and loss account financial statement. So demand the trading account, P&L account, balance sheet and trial balance. All should be generated from accounting software. There is requirement of all ledgers generated in PDF in Excel. Excel, if you will take, you can easily put certain calculations. PDF, if you will take, it will be very easy for you to check the ledgers. Okay. So I suggest take both the copies, and each and every accounting software is generating both the copies. Index of all the ledgers. Many times what happen, our client is sending direct the ledger, complete ledger, whole ledger. At the time of importing the ledger, the client forgot to generate the index. But if you have index, in that case, you can very easily conduct that particular type of audit. Yes. So you should take care of the all ledger as well. Okay. All ledger, and all ledgers should be in PDF and Excel. Bifurcation of closing stock. This is also a very important thing which we need to take care. Okay. Which we need to take care. That is, there is a semi-finished goods, there is a finished goods, there is work in progress, there is opening, or there is raw material. So we just require the bifurcation of closing stock under various heads. Okay. As it is not possible for us to physically verify the inventory, but we are putting the same note in our form number 3CD. So when we are putting the note in our form number 3CD, at least we should have the bifurcation of closing stock. And you should take the quantity, the rate and the value. That is called as Q tally. You should demand this, so that you can get an assurance that through this cross confirmation, through this calculation, you are finding a perfect value of the closing stock which is mentioned in the trading account. And sir, I request, if trading and manufacturing industry is there, in that case you should prepare two accounts. One is trading account, another is manufacturing account, profit and loss account and balance sheet. So we should take care about that. Okay. In between the session, I will share with you multiple examples to boost your knowledge. Okay. So just keep that examples in your mind. Stock register. If you will go for textile industry, in 60 to 70% cases, they are not maintaining the stock register. So at that time, we should take the note in the management representation letter about the non-maintenance of the stock register by the taxpayer. This is also a very important thing which we need to keep in our mind regarding the stock register. Job work register reconciled with ITC 04. As we all know, a particular industry who is dealing in the job work, there is requirement to file the ITC 04 form on quarterly basis. When there is requirement to file the ITC 04 form on quarterly basis, okay, so from that job work register, we can easily reconcile the figure from the ITC 04, and we can get the assurance that the person who is putting all the data related to job work in the books of accounts is matching with the GST and common portal. Now suppose if you will go for the audit of the textile industry, in 50 to 60% cases, you will find that the textile person is not filing the ITC 04 form, although he is involved in the job work related activities. So in that case, you need to mention it in your form number 3CD under observation head. Others. The taxpayer is involved in the job work related things, but the person has not filed on GST and common portal ITC 04. Due to that, we are not able to externally verify the job work related things which is mentioned in the job work register. That type of comment should part of your form number 3CD. And sir, I request, once try to do these type of things, it will definitely create some effect and your observation will be effective. Don't follow the mechanism of cut, copy and paste. Although I will try to provide you multiple observations for your reference, ready observations that you can readily put in your report. But the point is that before putting, you also need to take care. So job work register. List of related party transactions. Sir, if I'm getting a new client, okay, it will be quite difficult for me to identify the related parties. Okay. Or if I'm regularly doing the audit, in that case also there may be chances that I have no complete idea about the related parties, or there may be chances that certain expenditure which has been made with the related parties. So in that case, what we can do, we just need to write a mail to our client. Sir, whatever correspondence we are doing with our client, we should do it through the mail or through the paper transactions or through the WhatsApp. And if we are doing it through the WhatsApp, this is my submission to you. Just try to take the screenshot of the conversation which you have taken and save the same in the specific folder of your client. As we all know, now the peer review is also mandatory for the CA forms. So these will prepare a reference for you. So list of related party transactions. Demand a list of related parties. Then after, you can easily identify the transactions through the laser scrutiny. Okay. Soft copy of TDS return filed, because you have to provide that particular data in your form 3CD. Okay. And the same has been submitted in the form number 3CD. So you should take the soft copy of TDS return filed so that you can easily put the particular data. Suppose you are not handling the TDS work of your client. In that case, suggest to your client that the person who is handling your TDS related work, just demand 34 ABC from him. Okay. So that the same file can be imported very easily. Now the time is completely technology driven. So we also need to reduce the manual intervention, the manual working. We should also focus on the automation. All the challan paid during the year, that should be take care. Whether the challan is related to ESI, PF, whether the challan is related to any late fees, whether the challan is related to any GST payment, whether the challan is related to any advance tax payment, we should demand the challan copy. Login credentials required. Sir, the login credential of income tax portal and GST portal, there is requirement. Income tax portal and GST portal, the login credentials are required. Now, essential things to do before the commencement of the audit. There are certain important things which we need to take care before commencement of the audit. And these things, believe me, are very important for us. Without that, we should not conduct the audit. Okay. And we cannot conduct the audit in an effective way. So we should take care of these things. The first thing that we all are doing, I think, okay, and that is important for all of us. That is, the opening balances are taken from the previous year audit report, audited balance sheet. Okay. That we have to take care, or we can assign that work to our client as well. Just provide the last year audit report and check the closing balances with the current year report. That is, the stock is tally, your fixed assets ki opening balances are tally. So that we need to take care. So opening balances should take care from the previous year audited financial statement. Maintain a list of indirect taxes and other laws applicable to that particular enterprises. We also need to take care of all the laws, that is indirect taxation and other laws which is applicable on that particular enterprises, so that we can check that yes, this act is applicable on him, this act is applicable on him. Suppose someone is involved in export, so the custom duty will be there, custom act is also applicable, so we can easily verify whether export duty related ledgers are there, whether the person is claiming any refund. In that case, the documentation, the entries regarding the refund is perfect. If you will check the books of accounts and the person is claiming the refund, in 30 to 40% cases you will found the entries related to refund which has been sanctioned by the department is passed wrongly. So as the auditor, this is also our responsibility to scrutinize the things, to scrutinize the entries which is wrongly made in the books of accounts. And yes, once we'll provide these type of things to our client that these are the issue in your books of accounts, it will create an impact, and we may charge extra amount for our consultancy regarding these matters, because as we all know that the quality of the audit plays a very important role. Because nowadays many tax professionals are available in the market, they are conducting the audit at 5,000, at 7,000, at 8,000. Many companies are there, they are taking the bulk audits and they are conducting the bulk audits. I think on these type of activities, institutes should also take certain actions. But the point is that what we can do, we can improvise our quality. And when our client will get something additional from us, when our client will get some presentational skills from us, when our client get an effective report from us, yes, it will create an impact. And your client will be there for a long amount of time. Vouchers related to all the expenditure incurred are properly maintained. Okay. Just demand the sample basis voucher, that is also a required thing. Many times we are checking that the expenditure is booked in the books of accounts. So if you are not checking the vouchers manually, in that case, at least check that expenditure is there in GSTR 2B, so that it will be a evidence for you that yes, the expenditure has been made by the taxpayer. So we should check from GSTR 2B. If the expenditure is on account of unregistered person, in that case, yes, we should demand for the vouchers. Although we all know that in 30 to 40% cases, expenditures are adjustment. But the point is that when we are making the adjustments also, in that case also there is requirement of documentary evidence. As the auditor, when we are conducting the audit, this is our responsibility, sir. Okay. Ledger scrutiny plays a very important role. Whenever you are getting the whole ledger from your client, suppose it is 1,000 pages, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 pages, the scrutiny should be in a very proper way. There may be chances of certain items we may skip. Okay. Suppose a huge papers may be for sales and purchase. So you can skip the sales and purchase. Just take the closing, that is total sales, and reconcile it to profit and loss account. Okay. In between the points, I am taking the ledger scrutiny related things as well. Okay. Because I just want to serve you something very special throughout this particular session. So I am taking certain practical points as well. And also I request each one of you, sir, I request those who will watch the recording of this particular session and those who are joining the session live, I request when I am taking anything related to ledger and profit and loss account and financial statement, just imagine that you are doing those type of things. Just imagine that you are checking the financial statement, you are checking the ledger, so that it will be there in your brain. And you will also be in situation to gain the effective knowledge. Okay. Although I know you all are master in the tax audit, ledger. And sir, also I request those who will watch the recordings of this particular session, post completion of the session, whatever will be your feedback, just to share with me. Okay. At least related to my session, whatever will be your feedback, just share with me, because your feedback plays a very important role for me. Sir, ledger, sales purchase you can skip. Input CGST, input SGST, input IGST, output CGST, SGST, IGST, ledger को आप छोड़ सकते हो. Expenditure related ledgers, you should be very much careful that sir TDS has been deducted or not. Income related ledgers, other income related, you should be very much careful that what is the head under which the expenditure has been transferred. Under which head the expenditure is transferring to profit and loss account, that we need to ensure. That is my income head and expenditure head. For debtors and creditors, we should check, because we have to provide two separate reports: the classification of debtors less than 180 days, more than 180 days. So in that case, when you are taking the debtor list less than 180 days, more than 180 days, at that time you just need to ensure on sample basis, check the ledger of the debtor. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है that person is providing the wrong Excel to us for transferring that is less than 180 days, more than 180 days. When you are checking the creditor's ledger, on sample basis, check whether the taxpayer is making the payment within 180 days or not. Yes, this is not a proper point from income tax audit perspective, but the point is that from GST perspective, if you will check the creditor's ledger, because as you are doing the scrutiny and you have suggested 3 to 4 points to your client, it will create an impact. Because audit is also our presentation, sir. Many time when I am checking certain audit reports, okay, there may be chances certain auditors are providing the audit report simply just taking the printout of the audit report to pin up, and they are providing the copy of audit report. And many chartered accountants are providing the audit report in a very well manner. There will be a cover page, there will be a back page, okay, there will be a proper file, there will be a income tax return which is there. There will be a specific notes for the future suggestions on the back page. It will create an impact. And I also request those who are joining this particular session, when you are conducting the audit for this particular financial year, at that time, there should be one addition in your audit report, that is improvement for the next financial year. It will create an impact. Just once, karke dekho na. Okay. So creditors, we should check from that particular perspective. Income expenditure, we should check. So all the duties and taxes, we should check the closing balance which is due. Suppose there is certain GST due is there, we just need to check it from the GST and common portal whether the closing balance due related are same or not. Also, suppose your client is maintaining only one head, CGST, SGST, IGST. Suggest your client maintain the bifurcation: output CGST, output SGST, output IGST, and input CGST, IGST, SGST, so that bifurcation of input tax credit will be there. You just need to check that the RCM related adjustment entries has been passed correctly. Otherwise, it may create effect on your expenditure which is mentioned in your profit and loss account. So these are the very simple but very important point from the perspective of ledger scrutiny, okay, because we should also take care the ledger scrutiny. Next, all the bank statement we should demand from the client, and the closing balance of the bank statement should reconcile with the figure which is mentioned in balance sheet. Sir, in the audit, whenever there will be a possibility of external confirmation, we should go with the external confirmation. If no source is available regarding the external confirmation, then only we'll go for the internal confirmation. You can say the ledger, you can say the vouchers. But if it is possible for us for the external confirmation, we'll go for that. Cross verify the compliances made in the various laws. For example, sales you can reconcile from GST and common portal. GSTR 2A, GSTR 3B, you can easily reconcile. Okay. After GST, it is very easy to check the things for the client from the tax audit perspective as well. Okay. I am always saying in my workshops that, sir, if you have the GST and common portal ID and password, there is no requirement of vouching and verification. The complete vouching and verification can be conducted very easily in a very smooth way through GST and common portal. Okay. Other income which is reported in your profit and loss account, just check it from 26 AS. Because when you are demanding the documentation from your client regarding the audit, 26 AS plays also a very important role. Because in 26 AS, you will get everything regarding the TDS deducted by the other parties. and TDS may be deducted on account of income only because it is expenditure for counterparty. So what we need to check that, sir, the TDS has been deducted on certain incomes, then we just need to ensure the same has been credited to the profit and loss account or not. There may be chances certain income which is there in 26AS, but the same has not been credited to profit and loss account, then it will be a part of query for us. So we should be careful from that perspective as well regarding the form number 26AS. Also, sir, when we come to the point analysis of financial statement, capital account plays a very important role. Okay, in capital account, many times we are putting the figure like addition. Take the documentary evidence regarding the addition which is mentioned in the capital account. Merely putting the figure is not sufficient. Suppose there is any income which is transferred to the capital account, but the same is not there in profit and loss account, and the form is proprietorship concern. In that case, we just need to suggest our client that, sir, as you are a proprietorship concern on your personal income, yes, GST will be applicable, so whether you have paid or not. So when you are go for the turnover reconciliation, you should carefully check that this amount which is credited in the capital account is also become part of that reconciliation. Any drawings which is mentioned in the capital account, we just need to take the complete list of the drawings. You can say ledger and scrutinize that all the expenditures are related to personal nature only. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है just to reconcile the balance sheet they have transferred certain transfer entries or certain adjustment entry. That also very important. These are the things through which we can easily identify if there will be any manipulation in the financial statement, because our purpose is to provide the true and fair view. So this is the way. Adequate documentation regarding the management approval letters. When you are giving a note in the 3CD form that we have taken the management representation, or as per the management representation we are putting this figure, at that time just ensure that the letter should be there in your file. Merely oral communication, merely communication in the 3CD report is not sufficient. If there will be a transaction of sale and purchase of capital assets, receipt of loan and advances, in that case the same should form part of your management representation letter. Okay, all the post completion of the session I am going to share with you a draft copy of management representation letter, and in that MRL letter we have covered each and every clause. So I request, what you need to do, basically you just need to do one thing: change the name of your client, basically made certain changes based on the nature of industry, and take a signed copy from your client. You may demand the scanned copy and put it in the folder. Ensure availability of all the direct and indirect taxation challan. For GST related payment, you can easily check from GST and common portal. For ESI and PF related, if you don't want to go for multiple portals and take the data, in that case for ESI PF you may demand the challan copy from your client. Your client will provide you the copy of challan. Regarding ESI PF professional tax, okay, so it will be an assurance for you as well that all the taxation has been made, all the payment has been made. Proof of deduction and allowances which has been claimed should be available. If you are taxpayer, if your client is claiming any benefit on account of any deduction, any allowances, in that case we should demand the proof for the deduction and proof for the allowances as well. Now we'll take certain very important, very special points. Okay, so first, detail of the partners and members and their profit sharing ratio. Check the partnership deed and cross check the partner's name, the profit ratio. If any change in name, ratio compared to the last year, then disclosure is required. In form number 3CD, we all need to put these type of things. Okay, and when we need to put these type of things, then we just need to ensure that all the members and partners which is mentioned in that particular agreement should be in line with or not. And with comparison to last year, If there will be any changes, in that case, yes, we should check it from the partnership deed and we should made it the disclosure. Depreciation particulars, sir, a very important role of depreciation is here, not from GST perspective, from tax audit perspective as well. Opening WDV, addition, deletion, closing WDV, depreciation. We just need to check the block has been created properly or not. That is what is the first thing which we need to ensure. Many times there may be certain deviation in your block creation, so we just need to ensure that the block should be created in a very well manner. That is the first thing. Second thing, we just need to ensure that the depreciation has been charged perfectly or not. There should be no issue in case of depreciation rate. We also need to check if there will be any addition. We should check the copy of invoice regarding that particular addition. If there will be a deletion, in that case, we just need to ensure that the profit on account of sale of the capital assets or loss on account of sale of the capital assets should be calculated perfectly, whatever will be scenario, whether it will be a profit or loss. We just need to ensure that both should be calculated properly. We also need to check that the depreciation should be claimed on the taxable value only. And if the depreciation has been claimed on the invoice value, then we just need to ensure whether GST input tax credit has been claimed or not. These type of things we should be very much careful from depreciation perspective, sir. Bonus, commission, other payments. This is a specific part which we should report in our form number 3CD. Okay, when C. Ankita Bothra will take clause by clause analysis of form 3CD, definitely she will take care of this point. Okay. Details of amount debited in the profit and loss account being capital and personal nature, that should be very much carefully examined. When you are checking the expenditure which is there in your profit and loss account, you just need to ensure that this expenditure is in personal nature or is in business nature. And if you found certain significant things that there may be chances that this expenditure may be of a personal nature, you can check it from ledger detailed entry. Still you have certain confusion, you may demand the documentation. And when we have started our discussion on this tax audit in the beginning of our session, one point which I have covered that, sir, before conducting the audit, there is requirement of a meeting with our client. We just need to know the nature of activity, the nature of business transactions. Based on that discussion, based on nature of business, if we have idea about those type of things, in that case, yes, we can easily identify through the analysis of profit and loss account that yes, there may be chances this is the personal nature expenditure or this is the business nature expenditure. Hence, your idea about business activity plays a very important role. Certain expenditure which you should take very carefully. Okay, first one is repair and maintenance. There may be chances certain personal repair and maintenance transferred in the profit and loss account. Okay, so we should be very much careful. Traveling expenditure, salary and wages, stores, spare parts, consumption, depreciation. There may be chances that certain fixed assets, suppose the business industry, okay, is a trading concern. In the balance sheet, washing machine is there and that person is claiming the depreciation. Is that possible in the trading concern? How they will use the washing machine? So we should raise a question on the depreciation. Okay. Many times what we are doing, just client is sending the fixed assets chart, we are putting in the software and generating the report. Don't do this. At least check whether this is possible to use that particular item in the business or not. And that will give you the assurance. Legal, professional fees, consultancy fees. If your taxpayer has booked any expenditure with the name of legal, in that case, just cross verify whether GST has been paid or not. And also suppose your client is putting any professional fees, any accounting charges, any type of audit fees into the legal fees, in that case, it will be very dangerous in future because GST department may demand for GST. So we just need to suggest it our client, and yes, it will create an impact. Sir, are you getting my points now? Just let me know once in the chat box. All Zoom platforms, just let me know once in the chat box that yes, you are getting the points. I'm requesting each one of you, because your comments in the chat box gives me more power, more energy. Amount inadmissible under section 40A. Amount inadmissible under section 48. That is, if you have made any payment outside India, has not deducted the TDS. Suppose the TDS deduction liability is there on the expenditure which has been made in India, but you have not deducted. In that case, also 30% of the expenditure will disallow. So we just need to ensure regarding the payment made. Okay. So when you will scrutinize the ledger, at that time you should very carefully check that the payment has been made to outside India, or payment has been made to India but TDS has not been deducted. So we should be very much careful from that aspect. Payment of interest, remuneration, commission inadmissible under section 40B, 40BA. Sir, as I have already communicated a very special thing, that sir, whenever you are conducting the audit of a partnership firm, in that case, if partner remuneration, partner interest, commission has been booked in the profit and loss account, then you just need to ensure, or profit and loss appropriation account, you just need to ensure that the interest, remuneration, commission is as per the partnership agreement or not. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं, there is no clause in case of partnership agreement but you are providing commission to others, you can easily provide the commission, no issue. But if you are giving anything to your partners, in that case the same should be mentioned in your partnership agreement. Okay, sir, you all are getting my point now? Just let me know once in the chat box, all Zoom platforms. Yes, you are getting. Thank you, sir. Yes, Rakesh ji. Thank you for your comment, sir. Now, yes, sir, a very special thing that we all know, 10,000 rupees expenditure. When you will go for the laser scrutiny, if you found any expenditure more than 10,000 rupees in cash, the same will be disallowed. Okay. Now the point is that what happening? 10,000 is just divided in two parts. 5,000, 5,000 divided in two parts. 8,000, 2,000. Now allowable. Okay. And client is also doing the same. As we all are family members, so I am sharing with you. So, sir, when we are suggesting, or when our client is making the parts for any cash related expenditure, we also need to ensure that separate vouchers should be generated. And the accounting entry should be made in the accounting software with narration, with different dates. Otherwise, what will happen? This is the real scenario. The expenditure has not been disallowed in the income tax audit. At the time of scrutiny, the client has submitted the accounting proofs with the departmental authority, and the person has not changed the figures, not put any narration. On account of that, departmental authority has made a disallowance on account of the expenditure, and a very huge amount has been added to the income. And that should be reported in your form number 3CD as well. Transportation business more than 35,000 rupees, that is also a very important thing. If there will be any gratuity, in that case calculation should be checked. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है the amount has been adjusted with the previous employer. Okay, and actual payment date should check very carefully. Any amount regarding the ESI, regarding the PF, and the person is, that is the taxpayer is not making the payment within the timeline, in that case that expenditure will not allow. That means that expenditure is going to be disallowed. So we just need to be very carefully examine that the same has been disallowed or not. Contingent nature related liability. Sir, while conducting the audit, when you are asking about the nature of industry and another things, at that time we also need to ensure and ask our client that any litigation is going on in the business, any case is pending, any matter is disputed, and we have to make a significant note in our form number 3CD. That is also very important, because sir, suppose there is a case which is pending and you have not reported in your form number 3CD. In future, if there will be a liability generated, question on auditor will also be there. In case of company's audit, we are separately reporting the contingent liability, any case pending, any suit pending, any matter which may create litigation in future, which may create demand in future. In our form number 3CD, if there will be any expenditure due to that, any liability may be arise in future, so we should make a note of that. And our client is saying that there is no dispute, there is no issue, in that case, yes, we should demand the documentary evidence from our client. As no dispute, so no documentary evidence will be there, so the same will be included in the management representation letter. Okay, the management representation letter which I will share with you, in that MRL each and everything has already been covered, but we should be very much careful. Okay, suppose the client is booking any exempt income, okay, like agriculture income, how they are showing and why they are showing, everything is clear for we all. But the point is that any deduction related to expenditure is not allowed in case of agricultural activities. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है the person is booking the income under agricultural income, not paying the tax. When you will check the complete financial statement, you will found certain expenditures, and that expenditure is related to the agricultural activities, so the same will be disallowed. Since beginning, I am continuously saying that your expenditure plays a very important role, because your expenditure affect your gross profit, net profit. Okay, as we have done the analysis of financial statement, we have done the laser scrutiny, now we are covering certain very important points. So at that time, the expenditure plays a very important role, that we need to be very much careful. Sir, many bank, when they are providing the facility, funds related facility to the client, they are demanding the certificate of a chartered accountant regarding capital infusion. Okay, that is, suppose the bank has given a loan, for a specific purpose, but the taxpayer has not utilized that particular expenditure, or that particular loan which has been sanctioned for the specific purpose. In that case, the interest expenditure which you are booking in your books of accounts will not be allowed. Sir, you to hum dekhte hi nahi hai, how we can check? Sir, check it now. You have the loan account statement, you have the current account, you can easily check what type of facilities is there, what amount the client has sanctioned during the year, what is the end use of that amount which has been taken care by the client, and if the same has not been utilized for the specific purpose for which the loan has been taken, in that case, the interest expenditure will disallow. So we should be very much careful from that point as well. I hope since beginning, we are only taking the points related to very technical aspect of law. Okay, 269 SS, 269 ST. Okay, sir, what we are doing from the ledger scrutiny, we are checking the unsecured transactions. Okay, what we are doing, we are checking the unsecured transactions. Just wait for a single second. So in case of 269, what we are doing, we are just demanding a list of the 269 related transactions. Okay, that is the unsecured loan given or repayment during the particular financial year. Okay? And what we are doing on one Zoom platform, sir, today we have 3 merged Zoom platforms. Okay, so on one Zoom platform, I think with 4 to 5 participants, when we have shared the message to join the session, by mistake we have mentioned the time as 7 p.m. Although the time for the session was 6 p.m., the same has already been communicated at the time of the session and at the time of registration. But today when team is sending the message, by mistake they have mentioned as 7 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. Due to that, I think on one Zoom platform there are very less number of participants and now they are joining. Okay, so I request on certain participants, those who have received a message of 7 p.m. Okay, so for you especially, we'll share the recordings immediately. And second thing, what we'll do, we'll conduct one more live session on the same topic, so that if you have any query, till now we have already covered the analysis of financial statement, we have already covered the special points related to ledger scrutiny, we have already covered the special things, that what are the things which is required in case of new client, in case of regular client for which we are conducting the audit. Okay, I can show you the things which we have already covered. So we have already done the major entities, applicability of tax audit, businesses, professionals, okay, regular client, new client, documents which is required to conduct the audit, and the special things which we need to take care before commencement of the audit, and certain special points. Okay, we have started the session sharp at 6. Okay, so I extremely sorry from my team that there is certain issue, due to that they have shared a message with 7 p.m. okay, but the time is 6 p.m. So what we'll do, we'll share with you the recordings immediately today for today's session. Okay, tomorrow morning we have session sharp at 11 a.m. and session will be till 1 p.m. okay, and the session will take care by CA Ankita Bhotna, and in that particular session we'll cover the clause by clause analysis of form number 3CD. So for today, what you can do, 1 hour and 10 minutes, okay, you can go through with the recordings. For this discussion, we'll again come for a live session of 1 hour, okay, on Monday, so that each and every will get the benefit. For each and everyone, is that okay? Because today we have 3 Zoom platforms merger. 2 Zoom platforms are already there since 6, but with one Zoom platform they have made certain mistake to share with you the timing of 7 p.m. I extremely sorry to each one of you who has joined late due to our wrong intimation. Okay, so we have covered the points related to ledger scrutiny, related to the analysis of financial statements, okay, and related to certain important points. Although you will get the recordings, and while watching the recording, if you have any query, any concern, any question related to any point, you can immediately WhatsApp us. Today I am available, tomorrow I am available, so I will respond you immediately. And if you want to connect with me or call, it is also possible. Okay, so in case of 269 SSST, what we are doing, most important thing, preparing the list from the ledger and putting it in the form number 3CD. Sir, try to identify the nature of transactions. Yes, the transaction is merely in money, but कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है the client is arranging the money by selling any fixed assets. The client is getting the amount on account of sale of any fixed assets. Sir, how we can identify? Suppose for the same financial year, suppose the client has sold one property and that person has received certain amount, and in that particular financial year there are new unsecured transactions. It will give you a identification, it will give you an idea, because there is requirement of a separate reporting of the fixed assets related transactions and the amount which has been received on account of fixed assets. So we should be very much careful from that aspect. 269 SS and ST plays a very important role. It is not merely the mentioning of the transactions related to the ledger of unsecured. It is about to identify that from where this amount is coming. That is also an important thing for us. Okay. And there is also a remit like more than 20,000 rupees, more than 2 lakh rupees. There is requirement of account pay check and ECS. Okay. These are the things which is very normal we are following in our day-to-day practice. Although in our next session, that is tomorrow, C. Ankita Bothra will take care of each and every clause of form number 3CD. At that time, you will also get the idea of these clauses. Okay. 269 SS and 269 ST. In case of a domestic company, dividend distribution, sir, we are only dealing with the proprietorship concern, partnership concern. Why we need to know? There may be chances. Okay. So you are handling the work of a company. In that case, we just need to ensure that the dividend distribution tax has already been paid or not. Otherwise, the information is required to be shown. So DDT is a very important thing which we need to keep in our mind in case of domestic companies, dividend distribution. Sir, this thing we all are doing. We all are doing the turnover, the gross profit, the net profit, reconciliation ratios with comparison to last year. Okay. That ratio should be, yes, in line with the last financial year, previous financial year, we can say. We just need to check it. Now, sir, there are certain important points which we have covered from the analysis of financial statement perspective. Okay. So basically, your audit means getting the data from your client, check that the financial statement has been prepared from the ledgers, from the trial balance. Okay. So also, as in case of our audit, we should be very much careful from the perspective of various transactions. To identify something, what we can do, we also need to demand the trial balance from our client. Okay. And when we are demanding the trial balance, our client is providing only closing trial balance. Suggest your client that, sir, we don't require the closing trial balance. Provide the opening, addition, deletion, closing trial balance. Sir, by getting this type of trial balance, what will happen? When you will get the opening, addition, deletion, and closing related trial balance, it will give you an idea. Suppose in a particular head, there is a significant transaction, there is a significant movement. So you have to take care of that particular head very carefully. Suppose for a particular debtor, there is a huge addition, deletion in the particular financial year with comparison to the others. Then that debtor should be taken care very carefully. What type of sales has been made to that particular debtor? कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है? Through that particular analysis, what you will found? Just for an example, there may be chances certain unsecured related transactions has been merged with the debtor related transactions. There may be chances from Mr. X. There is certain business transactions, that is sales and purchase. There is certain unsecured related transactions. In that case, two separate ledgers are there. But through the analysis of trial balance, you can easily find out there is a huge amount of transactions in that particular debtor. And if you will check that ledger of that particular debtor, in that case, there may be chances that you will found that unsecured and business both transactions has been merged in that. So it will be a idea for you. Okay. So ledger, we just need to take care very carefully. The trial balance, we should take care very carefully. The expenditure head will automatically get in the trial balance. So we just need to take the each and every expenditure from the ledger regarding the TDS deduction perspective that we have already done. Okay. Now, sir, ye to hui about the financial statement analysis, about the ledger scrutiny. Now, what about the analysis of financial statement from GST perspective? Okay. So what we'll do with this particular session, after completion of this session, I will provide you a MRL letter. I will provide you a new appointment letter. I will provide you NOC letter. With that, we'll provide you an Excel sheet of certain reconciliation. If it is possible for you and time permits, before filing the audit report, just prepare that reconciliations. It will create smoothness in your audit process. Okay. The first reconciliation, I will provide you the Excel form with auto populated formulas. Okay. So what you need to do, compare the turnover as per financial statement, that is the profit and loss account, the turnover as per your GSTR 3B, the differences, and then after you have to identify the reason of the differences. So in case of reason of the differences, there may be chances certain income which has been mentioned in the profit and loss account, but when you are putting the turnover as financial statement, you have provided only trading sales. But in your GSTR 3B, you have paid the GST on other income as well. So in that case, what will happen? There will be a difference. So you have to provide a reason for difference, that certain other income, like commission income, has been mentioned in the profit and loss account. The same has included in the GSTR 3B, but the same has not been included in the financial statement. Hence, there is a difference. This is the reason. So it will provide you the turnover reconciliation. Second reconciliation, which will be your GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B reconciliation. This reconciliation is also a very important reconciliation. Through that, you can easily identify there is no mismatch in between the sales which is declared in the GSTR 3B and GSTR 1. Carefully check the terms of financial statement, like discount, like interest, like commission, rent, AMC charges, RCM oriented expenditure. Sir, when you are doing the audit, okay, you have the financial statement. In the financial statement, if you will identify these terms, suppose certain items are there, security related expenditure are there, legal expenditure are there, you can easily check whether RCM has been paid or not. And if no RCM has been paid, you can suggest your client that, sir, on legal expenditure there is requirement of RCM. Suppose any professional fees which has been booked with the name of legal expenditure, in that case also we can suggest our client that is requirement of separation between your legal expenditure and professional fees. Discount, you should carefully check whether the discount amount has been adjusted with the sales figure or not, which is directly related to sales. Okay. Or if the discount is a financial discount, then the same will become adjusted with your taxable value but not affect your tax amount. Interest, other income, which should be there whether GST has been paid or not. Commission, rent, whether GST has been paid or not. Okay. Now, there may be one question that, sir, if we'll check these items, what will be the effect? Because we are conducting the tax audit, हमारा GST से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. Sir, it will affect the input closing balance. Okay. It will affect your sales. It will affect your taxation figures. So everything will be affected due to this specific item as well. So we should be very much careful. Now, carefully examine the accounting aspects, like credit and debit note issued in a specific way or not. Sir, this is the part of tax audit. Okay. Our responsibility is not limited to the laser scrutiny, to the preparation of financial statement, to the uploading of report. We are chartered accountant. We are here for the analysis of the financial statement. We are here for the preparation of report based on our analysis only. So when we are here for the analysis based discussion or based reporting, at that time we should check whether the client is maintaining the documents in a perfect way or not. And sir, this is my guarantee to you, if you will check the debit and credit note, in 30 to 40% cases you will find certain issues, because taxpayers are not preparing the debit and credit note perfectly. Whether that is a financial debit or credit note, whether this is a trade debit and credit note, whether the effect related to GST has been given or not. Or once if you have suggested your client, it will first create one impact. Second, it will create the perfect books of accounts. It will be smooth conduct of the business as well. Ledger created properly. कई बार क्या होता है, if you will check, okay, under certain debtors you will found the creditors, because creditors के negative balance will fall under debtors and debtor negative balance will fall under creditors. Why this happen? Because when the ledger has been created, there is certain issues. So you have to identify these things. Loans and advances is coming in debtors. So we should suggest our client, because yes, when you will go for the audit, you can rectify these things. When you will prepare your audit report, you can change the things and accordingly you can prepare the report. I agree. But the point is that in next financial year also the same thing will be there. We also need to provide a solution. So for solution based things, we just need to do one thing, make the necessary changes in the books of accounts as well. As we have already covered this specific point, that when we are providing the audit report to our client, this time will include one annexure from our side, improvement for the next financial year. So when we are checking the ledger of our client and we found certain issues in any head, in that case we should check that ledger has been created proper or not, voucher has been entered in the proper specific way or not. Many times you will found that your client is changing the invoice series, is changing the expenditure series, is changing the receipt series, is changing the payment voucher. We should suggest from next financial year onwards, you have to decide a unique number, voucher number for your invoice, for your payment voucher, for your receipt voucher, for your any other documentation, so that everything will be in a unique way and you cannot break it. If there will be a 3 or 4 types of sales, in that case 3 or 4 types of invoice series should be there, so that the same can be easily identifiable. It will be a suggestion from your side to your client. Sir, when we are mentioned in our 3CD form that these type of ledgers has been maintained, then we also need to ensure that these ledgers are actually maintained or not. Because when you are getting the all ledger, yes, definitely you will get the cash ledger, bank bill, sales book, purchase book, journal ledger, everything you are getting. But the same has been maintained in the proper way or not. Or if you found any issue, in that case, the same should be reported in the observation part. Input tax credit reconciliation. As we all know, how to check the purchase, how to verify the genuineness of purchase, how we can satisfy ourselves that yes, this purchase is perfect. So for that purpose, no requirement of physical vouching and verification. Just download the GSTR2B from the accounting software and reconcile the GSTR2B purchase related entries with the books of accounts. If you found any deviation in the invoices, in that case, you just need to suggest your client. And when consolidated reconciliation is also required, GSTR1 and 2B. So it will give you a clear-cut idea. Suppose in 40 to 50% cases, I can say this amount will approximately tally. In that case, no requirement of invoice-wise reconciliation if your client is small. Okay. Yes, if client is medium size or big size, in that case, you can go for invoice-wise reconciliation as well. And also, it will not take much more time because now reconciliation is very easy. Multiple accounting software, multiple reconciliation related tools are available in the market. Okay. Or you can suggest your client provide the reconciliation to us. Okay. Input tax credit balance reconciliation. Sir, ITC closing balance as per GST and common portal, as per books of accounts, as you are certifying the books of accounts. Okay. Now, in this particular segment, what we have done, the analysis from GST perspective, the ledgers and the specific vouchers that we need to take care. Sir, everyone, this particular portion is okay for everyone? Just let me know. From Zoom platform 1, Zoom platform 2, Zoom platform 3. Just let me know in the chat box. Yes, you are getting the point. Thank you, sir, for your comment in the chat box. Yes, everyone. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, sir, for your response in the chat box. Now, sir, importance of appointment letter and importance of your management representation letter. Okay. What is the point, sir? While preparing the 3CD, although in our next session tomorrow, sharp at 11 a.m., okay, we have a clause by clause analysis of Form 3CD by C. Ankita Bothra. Now, sir, point is that appointment letter and management representation letter. When we are putting certain observations in Form 3CD, okay, at that time, what we are doing, we are mentioning that observation that, sir, regarding the 269 SS and SST, okay, regarding the payment 20,000 and 2 lakh rupees, Our client has given us the information that the same has been done through the check, and we have taken the same, because it is not possible for us to verify the each and every transaction. That is what is the first note which we are putting. Okay, just for an example. So in that particular note, we are clearly mentioning that our client has prescribed, or our client has given the information. That means management representation. You are putting that line in your form number 3 CD, but you have no management representation letter in your hand. How you can put it in your form number 3 CD? It will create a issue in future. So we should be, it will create certain issues in future. Hence I am saying that there is requirement of management representation letter. There is requirement of management representation letter, that MRL should be in your hand. Okay, in that MRL, whatever observation you are putting in your form number 3 CD, the same should be mentioned in your management representation letter, and you have to take the signed copy from your client. Otherwise what will happen? Otherwise what will happen? In future there may be any issue, and at that time if you will demand the MRL letter from your client signed copy, there may be chances no same relationship will be there in your client deny for giving you the management representation letter. What you will do? Because it is your degree, it is your dignity, it is your reputation, it is your respect. So we just need to do one thing, take the MRL right now. Okay, and now as we are doing the audit, our client is also provide the same appointment letter. As you are authorized to conduct the audit for this financial year, there is requirement of fresh appointment letter as well. Okay, so appointment letter and management representation letter plays a very important role. Sir, the importance of management representation letter is okay for you? You are getting my points? Now I am directly moving to certain specific observations. Okay, as this is the first observation, excess 20,000 rupees had been paid by the account pay check. This is not possible for us. So management has given the representation, so that should be part of your management representation letter. Regarding the loan deposit and payment, account pay check related declaration is required. Regarding the tax deducted at source, tax collected at source, there is requirement of one observation. There is requirement that हमने बिजनेस की ऑर्डर की, बिजनेस की ऑडिट की है, we have conducted the audit of business. There are a lot of inventories there in the business, so it is not possible us to provide the details of quantitative details. Okay, and the same has been taken from the client and certified by the client. When you are putting this observation in our 3 CD report, that means we have to take one management representation letter as well, and certain notes to accounts has also been covered here. The copy of the notes of accounts, the copy of the management representation letter will share with you on your registered mail ID. Okay, so in our today's session there were certain miscommunication. Okay, actually the point is that we have started the session at 6 p.m. sharp. Okay, but to Zoom 3 participants. Okay, my team has mentioned in the WhatsApp 7 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. So I think 7 to 8 participants, total 10 participants was there in Zoom 3. So what happened? They have received the timeline of 7 p.m. Hence they have joined the session late. But we have started our session at 6 p.m. sharp. So now what we'll do? I will provide you the recordings from 6 p.m. till 7:30. Okay, 1 hour and 30 minutes recording. Right now, after 15 minutes, you will get the recordings on your WhatsApp as well as on your mail ID, registered mail ID. You will get the recordings. Also, you will get on your mobile number, WhatsApp number. So what you need to do, if it is possible for you, just go through with the recording by today itself. If you have any query, any concern, you can WhatsApp me immediately. Will provide you the response. I will be available for today and tomorrow completely for you. Okay, tomorrow morning we have a session at 11 a.m. sharp. Okay, on the clause by clause analysis of form 3 CD. I request each one of you, please join the live sessions, all Zoom 1, Zoom 2. You also need to join. You will get the joining link by today itself. Okay, that is the second information. Third information, as due to our fault, okay, you have received a wrong time, that is 7 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. Although at the time of registration, the 6 p.m. was there. Okay. So the point is that after getting the recordings, if you are not satisfying, because there is requirement of live as well, so on Monday we'll conduct again 1 hour and 30-minute session on the live discussion on these particular things which we have covered in our today's session. Is that okay for everyone? Zoom 3, all the 10 participants, I am requesting from you, just put it in the chat box. It is okay for you, because this is our fault, because we have given a intimation in a wrong way, time wrong we have mentioned. Okay, so what we can do, we'll provide you the recordings immediately. Tomorrow morning you have to join the live session, although also we'll cover a live session for you regarding the discussion. Okay, so that recording you can get the same live as well. With this particular course, we'll provide you the complete MRL, the complete appointment letter, the complete notes, the complete observation. Will provide you audit tracking Excel sheet as well. With that particular course, we'll also provide the complete support till 31st October. So if you have any query, any concern, any matter, you can connect with us very easily. Okay, our tomorrow session will also be very important for you, because we'll cover clause by clause analysis of Form 3 CD and TDS deduction. But before moving to our tomorrow session, I request each one of you, if it is possible for you, just watch this 1 hour and 30-minute session completely. Okay, since beginning till end. Can you please do it? Please watch the recordings from 1 hour 6 p.m. to 7:30. That is 1 hour and 30 minutes recording. It will be very helpful, because it will give you a base of the tax audit. Okay, on the certain advanced issues, I can say same thing will repeat on Monday. Okay, we'll communicate the time as well. Extremely sorry for the wrong communication of time from our side. Sir, is that okay for everyone? Those who have joined the late, I just require the response from them only, because this is the mistake at our end. So we should accept it, and we should go for the rectification of the mistake. So the rectification is that will again come for the live discussion on the tax audit. Although the recording is also in a very interactive way. Okay. Nanda sir, is that okay for you? Nilay, Vaibhav sir, is that okay for you? Those who have joined the live session, I am personally asking from you. I request just go through with the recording once. We'll share the recording. By 8 p.m. you all will receive the recordings. Okay, by 8 or 8:15 you will get the recording. Just spare 1 hour and 30 minutes again for me, and just watch the recording. And yes, if you have any query, any concern, you can directly WhatsApp us. Okay, we'll also share on your WhatsApp number, so you can go through with the you can connect on that chat as well. I hope through this particular recording, through this particular discussion, you will get a lot of things regarding the tax audit. Okay, and tomorrow morning sharp at 11 a.m. we have the session on clause by clause analysis of Form 3 CD. The joining link you will receive by today, and complete study set in a very attractive manner you will receive by tomorrow. Thank you once again for joining the live session and the recorded session as well. We'll meet tomorrow with CA Ankita Bothra. Thank you once again. Bye-bye. And yes, watch the recording. If you have any query, any concern, just feel free and connect with me. Yes, we'll share the full video of today. By 8:15 you will get the full video. By 8:15 on your WhatsApp number, on your mail ID, you will receive the full video. And I also request, sir, I also request, before joining tomorrow morning 11 p.m. session, 11 a.m. session, just go through with the recorded video. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.